Hey there, amazing viewers. Picture this. You're sitting in a dimly lit upscale restaurant, the kind where the wine costs more than your monthly rent, and across from you is a man who's not just handsome but exudes that quiet power of someone who's built an empire from nothing. But here's the twist. You're not there for love. You're there to destroy it. Sounds juicy, right? Stick around because this story of betrayal turning into butterflies in your stomach is going to have you hooked till the very end. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss out on more heart-pounding tales like this. And if this resonates with you, smash that like button. Let's dive in. Emma Hartley stared at her reflection in the cracked mirror of her tiny apartment bathroom, adjusting the strap of her sleek black dress. It hugged her curves just right, the kind of outfit that screamed confidence she didn't entirely feel. At 28, she'd been scraping by as a freelance event planner in the bustling chaos of New York City, juggling gigs that paid just enough to cover rent and her student loans. But tonight was different. This wasn't a wedding setup or a corporate mixer. This was a job that paid $5,000 up front, more money than she'd seen in months, for one simple task: ruin a blind date. The client had been anonymous, contacting her through a shady app for discreet services. The instructions were clear. Show up at Le Shadow at 8 p.m., pose as the date's jealous ex, cause a scene, and make sure the evening ends in disaster. The target: Alexander Voss, a 35-year-old single dad and CEO of Voss Tech, a multi-million-dollar software empire. From the quick Google search Emma had done, he was the epitome of the rags-to-riches story. Orphaned young, raised in foster care, built his company from a garage startup, now a millionaire philanthropist raising his 6-year-old daughter alone after his wife's tragic death in a car accident 3 years ago. Photos showed a man with sharp jawlines, piercing blue eyes, and a smile that could melt steel, but Emma pushed that aside. This was business, not a fairy tale. "Why me?" she'd asked the anonymous texter. "Because you're perfect, untraceable, and you need the money." She did. Her younger brother, Jake, was in rehab again and the bills were piling up. Mom was working double shifts at the diner, but it wasn't enough. $5,000 could change everything. So, with a deep breath, Emma slipped on her heels and headed out into the rainy night. The restaurant was a haven of elegance. Crystal chandeliers casting golden light over white tablecloths, the air scented with garlic and fresh herbs. Emma spotted him immediately, Alexander Voss, seated at a corner table, glancing at his watch. He was even more striking in person, his tailored suit fitting like it was made for him, which it probably was. His dark hair was slightly tousled, as if he'd run a hand through it in frustration. No sign of his date yet. Perfect timing. She approached with feigned fury, her heart pounding. "Alex, is that you? After everything, you're out here with some other woman." Heads turned. Alexander looked up, confusion etching his handsome features. "I'm sorry, do I know you?" Emma leaned in, her voice rising just enough to draw whispers from nearby tables. "Know me? You promised forever and then you ghosted me for your precious company. And now this blind date. How dare you?" His eyes widened, but instead of anger, a flicker of amusement crossed his face. He stood slowly, towering over her at 62, and gently placed a hand on her arm. "Miss, I think there's been a mistake. I'm Alexander Voss, and I've never met you before, but if you're here to cause a scene—" He paused, his voice low and calm, like a CEO diffusing a boardroom crisis. "Why don't you join me instead? My actual date seems to be a no-show." Emma blinked, thrown off script. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. She was meant to storm out, leaving him humiliated. But his touch was warm, his gaze steady, and something in those blue eyes made her hesitate. Please," he said softly, pulling out the chair. "It's raining outside. At least have a drink on me." Against her better judgment, she sat. What harm could it do? She'd improvise, find another way to sabotage. The waiter brought menus, and Alexander ordered a bottle of Cabernet without missing a beat. "So, mysterious stranger, what's your name? And why target me?" "Emma," she said, the truth slipping out before she could fabricate. "And maybe I just have a thing against blind dates." He chuckled, a deep, genuine sound that sent an unexpected shiver down her spine. Fair enough. Mine was set up by my sister. She thinks I work too much, forget to live. What about you? What's your story? As they talked, Emma found herself opening up, carefully at first, then more freely. She spoke of her chaotic family, her dreams of starting her own event planning business, the endless hustle. Alexander listened intently, sharing bits of his own life. The late nights coding in his foster home, the joy of adopting his daughter Lily after his wife's passing, the loneliness that came with success. People see the CEO, the millionaire, he admitted, swirling his wine. But I'm just a dad trying to make pancakes without burning them. Emma laughed, genuinely this time. Hours passed like minutes. The rain pounded against the windows, but inside it felt like a bubble of warmth. When the check came, Alexander insisted on paying. This was the best blind date I've never planned, he said with a wink. Walking her out, he hailed a cab. Can I see you again, Emma? No drama, I promise. She nodded, her mind reeling. What had she done? The job was botched, but as the cab pulled away, her phone buzzed, a message from the client. Failed. No payment. Guilt gnawed at her, but so did excitement. The next day, flowers arrived at her door, roses with a note. Dinner tomorrow, Alex. She went, and the day after, what started as curiosity bloomed into something real. Alexander was patient, kind, introducing her to Lily, a bubbly girl with her father's eyes, who latched onto Emma like a lifeline. Are you Daddy's girlfriend? Lily asked one evening as they baked cookies in Alexander's penthouse kitchen. Emma blushed, maybe. But shadows lingered. The anonymous client began harassing her with texts. You owe me, ruin him or else. Emma ignored them at first, lost in the whirlwind romance. Alexander took her to galas where she mingled with elites, feeling like Cinderella. He supported her dreams, even offering seed money for her business. You're brilliant, Emma. Don't let anyone dim that. One night, after a passionate kiss under the stars on his rooftop, Emma confessed. Tears streamed down her face as she told him everything. The payment, the setup, her desperation for her brother's sake. Alexander froze, hurt flashing in his eyes. You were paid to ruin me. Yes, she whispered, but I couldn't because I fell for you. He paced, the city lights reflecting his turmoil. Who hired you? I don't know, anonymous. The revelation shattered their bubble. Alexander's security team traced the texts to his ex-business partner, Marcus Hale, who'd been ousted for embezzlement and sought revenge by sabotaging Alexander's personal life. He wanted me isolated, vulnerable, Alexander explained later, after confronting Marcus and involving the authorities. In the aftermath, Emma expected rejection, but Alexander pulled her close. You chose me, Emma, that's what matters. Their love deepened, forged in fire. Emma moved in, helping raise Lily, building her business with Alexander's guidance. On their one-year anniversary, under the same rooftop stars, he proposed, with Lily holding the ring box, giggling. Yes, Emma said, tears of joy flowing. And so, what began as a plot to destroy became a foundation for forever. Hugh, what a roller coaster, right, viewers? If that story tugged at your heartstrings and left you smiling, give it a big thumbs up, like right now. It helps the channel grow and brings more epic tales your way. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out. What's your favorite part? Drop it in the comments below. I read everyone. Until next time, keep believing in love's twists. Bye.